In this session, we're going to talk about the budget overview inquiry results. We're going to go to our favorites, budgets overview. Make sure find an existing value is highlighted and search. We'll scroll down to UT 2015. I already have my criteria entered. That is the cost center that I am wanting to get the results on. So I click search. This gives us the inquiry results. And we're just going to slowly kind of go through these to explain what each one of these are. The first one is budget. This is the approved fiscal year 14-15 budget, plus or minus increase or decreases or transfers in and out. This number could change throughout the year depending on those increases and decreases. The expenses, this is the fiscal year 14-15 expenses paid out. The encumbrance, this is the fiscal year 14-15 purchase orders that have been created. The pre-encumbrance is the fiscal year 14-15 requisitions created and not dispatched as purchase orders yet. The budget balance is the budget minus the expenses, minus the encumbrances, minus the pre-encumbrance. The associate revenue is not being used at this time, so your available budget should be your budget balance. This side over here on the left-hand side are the ledger totals, has to deal with the budget and the operating expenses. Over on the right-hand side, we have revenue. You have the revenue estimate, and even though it's a little catty-cornered, the amount of the revenue estimate for this one is $262,660. This is the fiscal year 14-15 approved estimate review from the fiscal 14-15 budget. The recognized revenue is the revenue actually received against the revenue estimate. The available budget is the difference between the revenue estimate and the deposits, which is the recognized revenue. If you notice up here you have max rows, you can change that. Put 5 nines in, because eventually we're going to have quite a few different items that can be displayed. Please note that the revenue estimate on the right-hand side are included in the budget totals on the left-hand side. And let's scroll down and look at the budget overview results. Let's just review some of the icons here. If I click on the Show Budget Details, that's going to show budget details. If I click on the Show Budget Transaction Types, that's going to show the budget transaction types for this row. OPE stands for Operating Expenses, and those are summarized on the left-hand side of the ledger totals up in this section. OPR, that stands for Operating Revenue, and those are summarized on the right side of the ledger totals in this area. We'll look at some columns here. We have the budget, and this shows the budget for each account, and you notice you have different accounts over here that we're going to review in a moment. You have expenses column, and that shows the expenses paid out for each account. We have encumbrances, and those shows funds that are encumbered for each account. Now if you notice, I can scroll over to get to the remaining columns, or I can come up and click on the Zoom Budget Overview Results, and that's just going to give me a more highlighted view of what I'm looking for. So we also have pre-encumbrance column, and once again this shows us the requisitions that have been created. The revenue estimate and recognized revenue, those are summarized on the right hand side of your ledger totals as well. To return back, I just hit return, and that takes me back to my budget overview. I can also click on the download, and that's going to download it into an Excel spreadsheet for me where I can set up filters or pivot tables as needed. This account is the account column. Starts with an A, it's a cost center. If it starts with a G, it's a grant. A complete list of these can be received from the budget office. Let's dig a little bit deeper by clicking on the navigation links. You notice these are underlined in blue, and therefore you can click on them to get more information. This right here shows the approved fiscal year 14-15 budget, plus or minus increases or decreases and transfers in and out of the account, and it's for the specific account of A1200. This number right here, the 113, is in my expense column, and therefore it shows the expenses for A4000, which A4000 is your operating expenses. Once again, we have our encumbrances. I can click on that link and it will go deeper for me and show me exactly what those encumbrances are, and same with pre-encumbrances. I can click on these links and dig deeper into the revenue estimate and the recognized revenue. If I click on the budget navigation link, let's just click on this one. It's going to take me into the activity log, and it gives me some information. The document IDs, you have BUD XFR, that's a budget transfer. Remember, OPE means operating expense. You can scroll over and get a little bit more information. Once again, you can view all, and it expands it a little bit more for you. You can also click on the drill down or drill to the activity log inquiry. This gives you a little bit more information. You can click on the view related links, and if you have access, it will give it to you. If you do not, then you will not get access to it. We'll X out of that, and we'll click OK. You can click OK to go back to your lines that will show your ledger groups in your accounts. If we click on the expenses navigation link, once again it opens up for us and gives us an activity log. You see voucher ID and then the document ID. These are actually vouchers that were created by your admin. You notice it has 1 of 63. This is where eventually you'll end up with quite a few, and you can say view all, but currently there's just 63. You click OK to take you back to the next screen. I can click on my encumbrances, and this just lists all of the purchase orders that are associated that have been encumbered with the account that I'm looking for. I can also click into my revenue accounts. SC stands for service charge, service center charge. That could be being charged by the Patriot Printing or being charged by mail services. You can click OK to go back. Let's go back into the expenses activity log. You can click on document ID or any of the column titles and it will put them in alphabetical order. These YE PRPs, those are year-end charges, year-end revenue or year-end credits. That's all entered by the budget office. Once again, you see your HPY, which that has to do with payroll. More than likely it is for maybe the phone charge. This employee ID, these are expenses that are paid on travel. Your voucher ID are expenses that are paid for against your purchase orders or non-purchase orders. So if I click on this and I want to drill a little bit deeper, I can click on that link and tell it to go to the source entry, and it pulls up my account payment document. I can look at the related documents. I can see that it was paid. I can see the invoice information, how it was paid, the date that it was paid, the reference number. So you can get a lot of information by drilling down, if you have rights to drill down into them.